Hi everyone, this is AutoML training community meeting on 3rd of April. Thanks everyone for joining. So maybe we can spend like 5 minutes for introduction. If you have anyone here new to the community who just want to introduce themselves to the audience. Yeah, feel free to jump in. Shashank?
Hello, I'm a student from Wang Shao. I'm Shao Wang. I'm a student. I'm a senior student from Shanghai Jiao Tong University, China, and I now contribute to the Khatib, and also have a deep into the training operator now. I'm an independent contributor, and I want to participate in the GSOC this year. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for joining, Shao. Nice to see you. Um, Anyone else? All right, then we can get started. So we have a few things today, the agenda. So first of all, like feel free to add yourself to the attendance list in the meeting note. So first of all, um, like I guess I just want to give you a little bit of the update on the KubeCon. So we had a really great KubeCon this year. This was one of the biggest actually KubeCon in person for the whole history. So we have like more than 12,000 people who actually attended in person. It was quite very exciting to see so many like energy and talks around ML workloads and so all this like kind of new AI working group in CNCF. And also like we saw a lot of, energy around Kubeflow there because that was our like first event where we had a summit in the KubeCon and also the booth. So we basically have a project booth where we give some demos, some topics, discuss some topics with the audience, and share the updates of the project. So I actually added the link to the playlist of the Kubeflow Summit. So it was a co-located event during KubeCon. We had a very good several talks from the end users and from the contributors. So if you want to learn about Kubeflow, I would suggest you to just check this recording, and actually it will help you to understand what's happening with the project, what people actually do with Kubeflow, and which where it is actually useful in production for many like big organizations. Yeah, so we have this recording already, and we also have a LinkedIn account in the Kubeflow. So please subscribe to our Kubeflow LinkedIn, and also we planning to publish some blog posts very soon around the KubeCon, and also some updates on Spark Operator and other topics as well. Yeah, so feel free to check this out, and also that will help you to get familiar with other components of Kubeflow. Yeah, also like we just a little bit of heads up around GSOC. I know that deadline was yesterday. We saw so many proposals, and first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who actually participating and submitting your proposals. It's great to see so much energy from all of you, and we will like review all the proposals and let you know about the next steps and what we can do there. But at the same time, like as I said, we try to like encourage you to contribute for other areas and just to explain you how you can help the project moving forward. So yeah, I already saw like um, so much effort from all of you in terms of the assigning the issues and working on them. It's like extremely helpful, and we it's really like great for us to see like a lot of engagement for all of you. We will also try to to explain you how to contribute, where you can contribute. Like we will try to maybe host some office hours or maybe some contributing hour sometime, maybe not this week, but in the following weeks. So even if you want to contribute outside of GSOC, it is a great opportunity to you to be part of this community. Because as I said, like in the last meeting, Keyflow basically touches every part of the software development that you can think of, right? And you can contribute as many areas, no matter of your past experience, right? So yeah, we definitely need to, and I agree, we need to have an improvement in terms of the onboarding process, in terms of the development and development guides and other areas. So we'll try to work on on this to simplify this process, because this is like very complex project and it contains very different pieces and very different subcomponents altogether. So again, I would encourage you to. I will try to mark some issues which with a good first issue label and try to explain you better how to contribute. But feel free to just assign issues that you want to work on and help the community, because it's already so many PRs have been merged and so many new contributors we see. And we really hope that after the GSOC we will grow community much larger and you can also be part of the working group leads or you can be in the owners files. So you basically will we will give you some credibility in terms of your contribution to the project moving forward. Um, yeah, so I guess any questions you have in terms of the um, what we can do there or here in terms of GSOC or anything else you want to discuss? Um,
Yeah, hi, and
yeah,
thank you for yesterday answering my questions. It was a heavy day for me.
yeah,
Um, like you mentioned some of the steps to mention in my proposal, and I was running out of time. So I did mention some of the things like the diagrams for training API and Kubeflow architecture,
yeah,
and along with the what components that we are going to use. But so I had only three components, and there are a couple of more that I would have like I was researching on. So like on a later, can we discuss on that like of our proposals? Like I'm not able to add it to it, but I want to mention somewhere like what we can do more.
yeah, yeah. It's a good point. Yeah, and I understand the deadline has been passed. So I think once we review all the proposals, we will definitely work with all of you to see how we can improve. And we still don't know how many slots Google will give us. But in any case, we will try to like consume information from all of the proposals and try to work on the design properly with all of you together, right? Because I guess like the next step from you will be to submit these proposals on the community repo or in the training operator repo or in the KTIP repo, because we want to like because the deadline already been passed, you cannot make changes, but you might need to do some additional modifications based on our feedback, right? Because some of the tasks might require additional thinking from our side as well. Um, so I think like once we finalize the review process, we can let you know how to add these improvements. And right now, I would say maybe, Sarab, if you want like add your thoughts, just make a comment on the issue, and once we have this proposal get accepted, we can like once we submit the PR with this proposal in the Qflow repo, we can make the changes directly on the PR with your thoughts, right? And additional considerations. Um, so right now, just feel free to use the issue to provide your feedback or additional, comments, what we need to think on, right? Uh,
Yeah,
this makes sense?
yeah, got it.
All right.
And yeah, actually, I wanted to discuss on the issue of the Khatib automatic release.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. So let's maybe quickly go through like the release items and we can jump to this automated release, Ketip release issue to discuss how we can contribute there. Yeah, um, for the release, I guess Ajay, do you have any specific questions? I can give you our updates, but do you think any specific you want to talk about?
I just wanted to let you know that we like around 2 weeks from now, on 15th of April, we are planning to. It's a feature freeze date, and post that we will start cutting RC0. So just wanted to check updates only. Like, are we on track, and when can we close, and when can we put a release that?
Yeah, I think we're on track. So let me maybe quickly go through the items to see where we need to work on.
A little details on the all the items that we have in roadmap would be great.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Um, Yeah, so let me maybe start with training operator. So, um, yeah, so let me maybe start with training operator. So Yeah, so I still need to. So we already have some sort of the docs on the fine-tuning API. I just need to submit the PR to have this feature on the Kubeflow website. So let me make a note here. So I guess a feature like documentation updates could be, we can do it even after 2 weeks, right? So so Jay, I guess in 2 weeks we just have a feature freeze date, right?
Right. But like I can confirm it, like if we can, what is our plan? I'm not sure with respect to documentation.
Yeah, it's definitely separate. I can say Ricardo on the call, but Ricardo, if you have any thoughts here, feel free to jump
Yeah,
in.
my understanding of the, sorry, Andrew, my understanding of the release handbook is that feature freeze is only about code. So I think documentation could be part of the 2 weeks between the feature freeze and the RC0 release. So, but I think the question here is, what's the effort to update that documentation? Is it sufficient 2 weeks between the feature freeze and the RC0 release to have all of this covered?
Yeah, I think it should be fine. Like I guess like the biggest change we need to do for train API for LLM fine-tuning. Other things we is kind of separate, like to improving like we already have some architecture diagrams there, but all other topics can go after the feature freeze and docs freeze. It's fine. So I think the
I don't know
biggest
if that works, sorry, but let's not forget that there are two guys from Docs Lisa that could help you on documenting that. So feel free to reach out to them. It's Diego Lofson and Halber.
Yeah.
And he is willing to help as much as they can for documentation. So feel free to reach out to them.
Right. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I think like I will just probably submit the draft PR in this maybe next week, and then maybe we can work together with them to explain this feature properly. Yeah, because other things in terms of the documentation updates, we need to deprecate the MX job, add the deprecation notice, and yeah, improve some contributor guides. So I think so, Ricardo. Let me ask. So what we want to do, we want to like improve this. We first of all, we probably want to move this contributor guide to the Kubeflow website. So do you think the docs layer, like, can they help us to do some of these changes? I'm talking about this guide.
Yeah, having proper context on what is the motivation of those changes, I believe they are capable enough to help on these tasks.
All right. Yeah. Okay, it's fine. So let me think about it. Like, if we just want to do these changes before the release, I can ping them to help me with this. But I think it's like more important to add the page around this new SDK public API. So that sounds good. I guess like the biggest thing we need to do for it's webhook validation that Yuki like we need to speak about, and also the deprecation notice for MX job. So for deprecation notice, like, how do you think we should do it, like in addition to website updates? Should we add it in our SDK as well? Because just to give it like a context for everyone, like MXNet, Apache MXNet was archived, the project was archived. And if we want to like remove the MX job support in the future releases, like not this release, but the release after this release, and we want to add deprecation notice for all the users who is still using MXNet, MX job for their training. So do you have any ideas how where we should add this deprecation notice?
So maybe we can
What
we can inform. Sorry.
I was just asking, like, this change log, is that the right place? Like, this is what got changed in this version, and in the release note we can put that.
Yeah, but it's not enough. Like we want to like have more visibility for you. We don't want to just remove it. We will add this to the changelog. We will add this to the documentation like web page. But maybe also there is some places where we should add this notice, right? This warning.
I see.
So yeah, so if we can return warning messages via Python SDK and webhook.
Oh yeah, maybe in the webhook as well, right? So
So yes, so validating webhook can return warning messages. So we can return like MX job is deprecated and we will remove future release.
yeah. So for this, you don't need to have additional webhook just for MX job. You can add this in the common like basically when we hit this. So first of all, let me ask you, do we have a separate REST API endpoint for every job on the webhook side? Or it's different webhook? Is it like not like the webhook that we're using inside Katib? Like admission webhook?
So I mean so validating Kubernetes validating webhook.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let me.
All right. So if I go to this one,
So
okay, yeah, I see. So it's like, okay, this is like where is the configuration? Okay, okay, you have validate. Yeah, you have a separate endpoint, right, for every job, right?
yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the question is like in that case, like since we won't have the validation for MX job, how we going to inform the users, right?
Yes, let me pointing code
Sure.
base. Yeah, have this link.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the warnings. So we can inform warnings.
Yeah, but I think my question was since you only triggering this webhook on the PyTorch job CR, right? You're not triggering this on the PyTorch on.
Yes. So this is example for Python job. So we can implement warnings for MX job.
Yeah, but do you want to have like additional endpoint just for MX job?
Yes.
Hmm. Oh, okay. So your suggestion just inside validation, just add the warning and that's it. We're not going to validate the MX job CR, right? Just for the
Yes.
validation. Mm.
Yes, and so we can implement a warning to Python SDK.
Mm. Oh. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Yuki.
Okay, so additionally we can implement warning messages to Python SDK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Python SDK I agree, and also like inside the what is it like inside the webhook. But inside the webhook you won't have like the whole validation, just the warning, right?
Yes, just a warning. So not so so
Okay.
yes. So in for the next training operator version, so uh we don't reject user request. So just a warning.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. I agree. So yeah, and the effort will be minimal, right? There, right? Because we don't like require the whole validation of the CR, right? Just like the warning and that's it. Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, you only add the warning. You won't going to validate the custom resource, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, makes sense. All right. Yeah, I think that sounds good. So let me make a note here. So update the website. The SDK. I think the SDK I can update it. So when the job type is MX job, I can add some warning there as well. And also,
Makes sense.
yeah, and also so implement the page. Right, that sounds good. So yeah, that's fine. So other topics, and let me maybe copy paste it. Not here. We need to edit here, right? So I think for other things we're on track, Jay. So for your understanding, like we almost done all the changes. We also have some other like important PRs that's like the new contributors recently merged. And I think we will also include them in the release. So there will be more features included there, like updating, I believe, the PyTorch versions and the TensorFlow versions as well. But I think we're on track for training operator. We're already supporting the Kubernetes version. I think Yuki, you created this PR, right, to drop the Kubernetes support. Yeah, so this is done.
What is this, Andre, if may I ask, what is this CEL validation? That last ticket?
Yeah, so we want to have like a webhook validation when users submit the customer source. So
Okay.
right now we just don't have any validation.
Is
I
this
guess
a-
yeah, good.
So the other ticket is just so we want to have this admission webhook, but the other ticket only include covers the PyTorch thing. That's also similar if I'm right.
Yeah, but we're gonna have validation for every type of job, right? So I think Yuki created this for PyTorch CF job in XGBoost job, right? Here.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So I guess like for this validation, like you could have any specific questions. I have a few of them, but what exactly do you want to discuss?
Yeah, so one discussion point is so third generation mechanism. So I used open policy agent third controller to implement third generation. So we have original third generation mechanism in Captive.
Yeah,
So which generation mechanism should we use? Yeah.
I see. So what is the main differences? Like, do we need a controller from OPA to generate search then?
Yes. Yes. Uh, so so open policy agent third controller is similar to our third generation. But this third controller uh, automatically updates web certification.
Okay. So does it require a controller to be run in the Kubernetes namespace or not?
So you mean so before we deploy training operator, we
Yeah.
need to create. Yeah. Okay. So no. So answer is no. Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, okay. So open policy agent third control mechanism is similar to Khartiv third generation. So
Mm.
so uh, uh, after we deploy training operator, so the training operator creates certifications as a initialization.
I see. So okay, and so how it actually updates the search automatically during the runtime? Do you know this OPA
Ah,
agent?
I see. So I'm not sure how SAT controller but so this SAT controller register to manager. So maybe so this manager starts SAT controller every 24 hours.
Okay, so okay, I see. So basically, like in addition to the manager which reconcile the jobs, we have another like
Yes.
manager that actually manages certs right inside the our basically the main manager, right? Like the operator manager, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I mean, if it does require additional like Kubernetes resources to be run and like create a minimal overhead for the end user, I think we should follow this. If it just because it also helps us to automatically update the certs during the controller runtime, right? So we don't need to worry about like we don't even need like this kind of cert manager at all, right? How we use this today in the Kubeflow installation. Uh, because if we use this approach, like what is the reason to have a cert manager as a separate controller, right?
Yes. So, but so this SAT controller generates self-signed certification. So
Yeah. Mhm.
so so some people prefer to not prefer to self-signed
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
certification.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That makes sense.
So I was thinking we can support SAT manager in training operator in the uh 1.1.9.
Okay. Yeah, just create an overlay to add like to deploy this with the cert manager for people who just want to who don't want to have a like the self-signed certificates. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think like so if this approach is like better than what we do in the KTIP, we should definitely like do this because I think in KTIP we don't automatically update the certs, right? If they're expired.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
But so I'm not sure. So we can work on it in the next Kati version.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so I think it sounds good. So I will definitely review UPR sometime this or next week, and we
Yes.
definitely should merge it before feature freeze.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for doing this. And um, yeah, I guess the differences would be minimal there, right? Yeah, so and this also will work with the Kubeflow installation even without Cert Manager, right? Because maybe we can say right now we only support self-signed certificate, but in the future we will expand it, right, to Cert Manager supports, right?
Yes, we can support SAT manager for the future training operator version.
So do we need this validation for MPI job or not yet? So you think it's only XGBoost TLP converter job?
So yes, yeah, it's a good point. So yes, so maybe implementing webhook validation for all our frameworks
Yeah.
was it.
We also have pedal job, right?
Yes, and I will implement validation for MPI job and MX job.
But so Yuki, for MX job, we don't need the whole validation, just the warning, right? So you don't need to.
Yes. So yeah, I want to implement just warning.
Yeah, makes sense. And you basically remove this, yeah, this one. So I definitely need to take a look. So anyway, so do you have any other questions that we need to discuss on this topic? I think it may be worse, like if you can like you can create an issue to migrate the KTIP for this CERT OPA CERT generator.
Yeah, sure.
So let me make a note here. Create. called OPA cert. Yes, certificate controller, right? Okay. And on the RBox side, we don't have any other changes, right? Just like add the secret success, right? Just add like the admission.
Yes.
Okay. The validation webhook configuration. All right, makes sense. Yeah. So for Katip, I think we also like on track. So we still so this one we probably like need more time because this will be part of GSOC, right? So unit testing, we still need to find someone who can help us with this. I think this is also like a good issue to work on. So I don't know, Shashank, are you on the call right now? So
Yeah, hi, I'm in the call.
we just have a question. So we want to like add this feature, this unit test to the next release. So do you think you have some time to work on this next week?
Yeah, actually, I have some work done on my local repo, but I was facing some issues. As discussed here, the idea here is to create a test file along with the Knative client file,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right.
So while testing the uh, test, I'm facing some error of importing the Kubeflow module. So
What kind of error
that's
did you see?
uh, so uh, so actually I was trying to add the test command to the make file. So there I have to, I think, update the Python part to find the Kubeflow module.
Mhm. Did you try to see like how we did it for training operator? So for training operator, we also already have the unit test, right?
Yeah.
So if you check here like the API, we have training client.test, and here we have the test defined, and we run this as part of our I believe workflow, which is defined here, if I remember correctly, yeah. So we run this test like this, like PyTest, and just
Okay.
well.
Yeah. So while testing locally, I was getting some error. So I, I'll post it on the issue
Mhm.
today. Okay. I actually I got busy with the proposal, so I couldn't work on it much. I saw this training operator SDK test also, like you mentioned in the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, just feel free to ping us in Slack or in the issue what kind of error you're facing, and maybe some problem with Python path, like how you set up your Python path. But
Okay.
usually, like it should be possible for you to just run tests without issues if you specify the directory properly. Yeah, and let
Okay,
us
I will.
Yeah, good.
I will update you on this in this issue.
Okay. Yeah, because we want to include this in the next release, and I guess other things like precommits, hooks. Yeah, and this one, right? I guess we want to use the bot, right? It's the PR. It's um, created by Yushiba, right? So do we think we have enough time
Yeah.
to merge it before the feature freeze?
Sorry, can you please come again, please?
Yeah, because this is also a feature we want to include in the release. Like, we just want to ask you, so do you think,
Yes.
is it ready for us to review this PR?
So basically, I would try to regenerate the uh, regenerate the code, but I feel some of the tests are failed, and I also reach out the Puff community in Slack and get suggestion from there. But it seems like the generated codes are not fully generated, I guess. So some of
Okay.
the test cases are failed due to that. So I would try to solve the errors, but I feel some difficulties to in that. So I would work on that much more.
All right, all right, that's fine. So yeah, maybe we can take a look when you also have time. You could see what kind of error we have there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise we will just include it in the next release, and it's okay. So, all right. So, any other questions, like from you, Ricardo, from you, Ajay, in terms of release planning and what we need to include?
I think I'm good as of now. Uh, uh, I just have one request, like as soon as like if something is done, please mark those issues as done. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think we also need to add support for Kubernetes
Yeah.
127, right? Yeah, let me ping. So I don't think so Ayush in the call right now. Yeah, I don't see him here. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the most important broker for next Kati version. So
Yeah.
if if they can't work on it in within this week, so maybe I can work it.
Yeah, let me make a comment. So okay, we need to integrate PR this week since.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see if Ayush will respond. Otherwise, we can just take it. And I don't think
Yes.
I'm not sure if we have any breaking changes for 1.27, right, Yuki? So do you think we need to do some changes on the code base?
Yes. So actually, control runtime has some of breaking changes. So maybe it's a slightly hard to follow the breaking changes.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Otherwise, we can just take it and just merge it this week or early next week then. Yeah, anything else we're missing, you think, from the Katib side on the release? Yeah, I think we're good there. So, all right. So, if we jump to the discussion about the automating releases, right? So, this is actually we want to work this for years for this issue. So the problem is right now, like we just don't have automation for releases, in terms of the how images have been built. So what we want to do, we need to have some sort of the CI/CD workflow to just trigger the release and like basically running this script. So today what we do, like to make a release, we manually run this script called like release.sh, and this script will create a branch and the tag and also publish the SDK and all the images. So if you go through this release script, you will understand what's actually happening. And I think I have this doc. I had the doc explaining here what actually we do in the release. So we're basically creating a new branch, creating a new tag, publish images to the Docker Hub, publish Kati Python SDK, and push the changes to the upstream with the version. And also after this, we manually do some changes in terms of the updating the SDK on the master branch and or updating the change log. So we need to automate this process somehow with the CI/CD pipeline. So I guess, Rob, like the question is like, I guess you want to work on this, right? To help us to automate it.
Yeah.
So in terms of the like permissions, like do you have like first of all, let me ask you, do you know how you want to implement this in the GitHub Actions workflow?
Yeah, actually I went through your conversation, like what all the conversation you had, and I like the release trigger GitHub Actions workflow, like triggering webhook. Uh, I had experience like automation with you know webhooks with GitHub and GitLab both. So I'm pretty sure like I'm going to do it. The things that I want to implement is okay, this. Let me take a look. Um, like I written a workflow on this, like what I was thinking is like you can create an release YAML file which will trigger on the release, and then we can update the change log by creating an Python script to change the logs and then publish the artifacts like the same.
So do you mean like basically we need to update one of the files and this file will trigger the workflow which will make the release, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is gonna work. I think the question is like how, because some of this workflow we need to combine them in the single CI/CD. So some of the publishing of the images with the appropriate tags and also the publishing of Python SDK. So I don't think today we have a workflow which can publish the SDK. So we need to somehow understand like we need to probably update the secrets and we can do it like it's not a problem, but can you at least like maybe in the issue or like I think in the issue just explain the workflow, like the changes what you want to do to like automate the script and what changes will be required like for us to do like in terms of the adding the secrets for PyP or like creating this file which we need to update to make the release, right? Um,
Yeah, I can mention the
okay.
workflow.
Yeah, because like once we explaining, like we can think about what kind of permission like we need to, like I can help you with some changes, and
Hmm.
we can like add some additional configurations to support these things, right? So, but the idea is yes. So basically, I think similar to I think notebooks do like we do this today inside the Kubeflow. Kubeflow, if I remember correctly, they basically have a file uh which they change to make the release. Um, Yeah, I don't remember exactly where it stores, but so did you try to check like how other like components of Kubeflow making the releases to like pipelines or notebooks? How they do releases today?
No, not yet. But I'll take it. Look on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's worth to explore because like maybe even if you don't have Unify approach, just try to see how other components are doing this today, right? And maybe we can like, um replicate some of the like be consistent across multiple Kubeflow components, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's okay, releasing version, right? So let me releasing. So they have this folder called version. Yeah, maybe take a look on this. So I think this is connected to the like how they trigger this releases, right? So yeah, they have this kind of version and they probably have the version of the specific branch. So yeah.
So, I mean, like for every release, we need to, update the release version. Uh,
Yeah.
that we can do with the Python script. Like before releasing, we can get the previous version and just update it with the new release.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. So I think it's fine to have like a version file which will update maybe like even inside ktip root we can have some sort of the version here, and this version will point to the latest release, and once we update this file it will trigger this workflow which will basically run this publishing to SDK and publishing to Docker Hub and also creating the branch and the tags and the tag, right? So because we need to create a branch and we need to make a tag and we need to push it to the upstream, right? Somehow.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, we need to automate all these workflows together, right? Uh,
Yeah.
So Andre, so maybe I'm wondering if we can make release steps automatically step by step. So for example, so the first step, so we can make automatically building image. So
Mhm.
after that, so we can work on re releasing Python SDK.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that this also would work here. So do you think like it actually it's a good point to have a file which will need to update to trigger this workflow? Or you have any other like opinions how we should trigger this release workflow?
Yes, so basically uh so we should push manually git tag.
Mm-hmm.
So so the workflow should triggered by tag creation.
Mm. And but who will be responsible to trigger to create this tags? Like the people who has like write access, who have write access?
Yeah, so responsible for
Like to create
the
this new branch and also new tag, right?
so currently so repository owner doesn't have creation tag
Yeah,
permission.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is actually part of this release right now. So if you take a look in the release.sh, here we creating a new branch here, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're creating a new branch, or we check out to the branch if it is the patch release, right? So if it is not the if it is a like a new release, we're actually creating a branch, but if it is just a new patch release, we just getting new tag, right? So
Yes, makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, my idea was to all this like creation of the branch should be part of the workflow somehow, right? And workflow should understand like are we creating a new patch release, or we kind of cutting a new release with a branch, right? So because just to give you understanding, like right, Shrub, like so we have this kind of release branch, right?
Mm.
And inside release branch, we have a different tags like similar to Kubernetes, right? So we have a new like RC0, then RC1 tag, right? Also, we
Yeah.
have the official release, right? I mean, we can also do the patch releases, like for example, I think we did previously in 0.11, right? So we have 0.11.1
Mm.
if we need to do some bug fixes, right, in the release. So my understanding that this creation should be part of the workflow, and workflow should understand that if we need to do the new branch, or we need to just
Mm.
add a new tag, right? Um, with a specific version. So yeah, I mean, I'm open to suggestions, but just please check this release docs, like what we do right now.
Mm.
And so let me make it here. So this is what we do right now inside Katip, right? This is like this is what Qflow like is doing. Maybe we need to like see how they like automate their releases, right? And
Mm.
this is the script that right now I have to run to make this release. It locates, I think, here, yeah, release. So
And so additionally, so we need to update release script because so currently so release script does not support multi architecture
yeah,
Docker image building.
yeah, that's right. Yes, it's a good point. So the problem is like in the release images, we just don't have the ARM support. So
Yes.
Mm.
we need to somehow. So you can do anything like we can we do it like easily when we run this manually? So
Yeah, it's so easy. Yeah, so just we can just add uh platform platform flag to build command.
mhm. Yeah, we're doing this. push text.
So
Where we do this?
Docker build platform called Linux AMD 64 and Linux ARM 64.
Yeah, and we can also like build these images on the Mac as well, right? So it doesn't matter like where we run.
Yes, it should work it on MacBook.
Yeah, so you're talking about like, so where are we building these images? Can you remind me? So it's here, right? Push, okay, it's push text.
Yes. Yes, we already have script.
CPU arc, right? It's here.
So
CPU arc is right now AMD 64 by default, right? But we want to like add more CPU arcs right there.
yes, so we can specify so yes, so we need to modify this script little bit.
Yeah, so I think like maybe so Sharp, like I think it would be nice if you could help us to maybe even right now, because like automation might take time, I understand, to design, but like at least like updating the script to support multiple arcs. Because right now we just do so we build images here, but we don't build them for all the architectures, like even on the Mac, right? So we just need to do simple change to our script to support like multi-arc build, and then like we need to push these images to the Docker Hub. And then we will support ARM in addition to AMD 64 once we build them, right? So does make sense? So
yeah, I'll try to modify this script and add architecture for like different platforms.
yeah, and it is already supported, because if you take a look in the CPU arc here, when we do the build.sh actually building the images for all of the architect here. So if you go to build.sh CPU arc, it's actually supported, like we support AMD 64, ARM 64, and PPS 64 LU, right? So this should just work. Yeah, we probably just need to build the images for all of the. And I guess you can just remind me. So if we build them for all the arcs with this one tag, when we push them, that all the tags will have all the support for all the images, right? All the architectures, right?
Yes, actually, so we build we build images for all architectures in our GitHub Actions.
Yeah.
And so publish it to Docker Hub.
And so we're pushing them on the one tag, right? So we just we add the one tag here. That makes sense. All right. So I think like it would be nice if you can just take a look at this, sure up, and if you can just submit a simple PR right now to support these architectures, and then we can iterate to automate these releases moving forward.
Yeah, I'll try to draft a PR, and I'll also try to mention the workflow that I have in my mind in the issues.
All right. Okay, we're over time. Sorry. Like any other questions? Any last questions, comments?
Yeah, actually, Andre, I would like to obtain your expectation or a perspective about how we gonna organize or how we gonna get the API docs generated for the Python SDKs into our Kubeflow website, so that I can explore the possible ways to achieve that.
Yeah, I think we need to understand first of all if Hugo can support these RST text files, right? Somehow, because I know that pipelines, they probably like publish them as a separate website, but we want to like see if we can directly show them in the kubeflow.org. So if you can help us to explore these topics, I think it would be nice to see if we can directly show all the API docs in the single place, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but we will work like towards like in the future to see how this should be implemented in terms of the automation, right?
Sure. Okay.
All right. Any other questions? All right, sounds good. So thank you for joining then, and I think we will definitely meet in 2 weeks, and we will try to see if we can organize some office hours for all of you or some contributing hour to help you to get onboarded with the Kubeflow code base. At the same time, please feel free to work on the issues and help us do some good first issues that you can definitely work on and help with the release. All right. Thanks, everyone, for your time. So see you in 2 weeks. See you around.
See you.